Obviously we heard about a year ago that there was all this talk of takeover and stuff happening, and you see other players in the league being full-time, and like as a kid all I wanted to do was be a professional footballer. So to hear that it was even getting a wee bit closer to coming to the showgrounds, obviously it was quite exciting. So to sign the contract and be able to say that you're a professional footballer and you're going to train every day is like something that I've always wanted to do, and it was a special moment for me and my family. And to be able to do it with Coleraine as well is probably that extra special. I just think it was like written in the stars. It was like, obviously this is my testimonial year, like just gone past, and it's like now I'm 27 and like I'm at an age where I'm running out of time to play full-time football, and obviously just getting that opportunity and getting it with this club just meant a lot to me. And it's like I believe in the project that's coming. I've spoke to Oren in depth about it when I was signing the contract, and I believe obviously it's going to be big changes, and it's going to be new to me. I've never been full time and stuff like that, but it's just something that excites me, and I do believe in the project, and just hopefully it can take off straight away. Talking about like players leaving and stuff like it's difficult, and because you do, like a lot of my best friends in life are people that I've met through football, so obviously you get that attachment of 3 days a week, and you see them all the time, and you see boys for 6 years 3 times a week, and it's challenging as well, but everyone will tell you that's football, and that's just how it is, and things change, and players move on, managers move on, and things just happen. But I'm excited to now come into a changing room where you're coming in every morning, you're coming in every day, you're seeing the boys, you're doing whatever in the afternoons, maybe golfing, going for coffee, doing different things, and trying to create like an even better team spirit than what we already had. And obviously that's challenging because we do have a very tight-knit changing room, and that's probably been something that Oren always drove home, where it was what we had in the changing room that got us to places that we got to. So hopefully we can continue that on and even maybe better it. As a person and as a player, if I could do half the stuff that Stevie Larry's done, I'd be happy. They retire. There's not a player in the league that'll have a bad word to say about Stevie, and it's just the way he carries himself. He's a legend, not even just at Coleraine. He's a legend at Linfield, but he's a legend right across the league, and he's been a massive help to me, and I'm like a shoulder to cry on or lean on whenever I've needed him. Whenever I want to ring him, ask him anything, Stevie was always there, and he always gave me advice, and I maybe didn't take the advice sometimes, but it was he didn't mind that. It was always he just wanted to be there for me, and not just me, he was there for a lot of people in this changing room. And if he went round and asked every single person that's played with Stevie, they would just have the highest word possible on him. And look, I wish him all the best in the future. I texted him when he left. It came as a shock, but obviously circumstances are circumstances, and Stevie feel that he's still got stuff in the tank, and I fully believe that too. So I wish him all the best in the future, and hopefully get a kick at him. Dean had an unbelievable playing career. One that like he's a local lad, and like you look up to players like that when you're growing up. Like if I could have the career that he had as well, do you know what I mean? So he's been on to do really well coaching. At Dungannon, obviously he was in a relegation fight, but when you played against the Dungannon team, you knew you were in a game. You struggled out of possession, you couldn't get the ball, and like it was very challenging, and he probably just didn't have the players at his disposal to go and probably kick on like a wee bit up the table, sort of like Dungannon's done this year. But in regards to working with him since he's come in, he's been a breath of fresh air, and all the boys will tell you that. His training's very, very good. It's a very modern style of coaching, but it's very enjoyable, and like we probably only had 6 weeks of it, but towards the end of the season you started to see that we had more of a structure. Boys knew their role to a T because we had time to work on it. The third goal in the playoff semi-final is a corner that Dean just brought in like 2 nights before. The throw-in first goal in the final again is just a bit of work that Dean brought to the club. So I'm very excited to work with him every day. We got that twice a week for 6-7 weeks. So hopefully when you're building over the course of 6 months, a year, 2 years, that it can just take us on to bigger and better things. Oren was he's a teacher, and we're part time, but knowing Oren and seeing the work that he was doing a full-time role, and he was doing a lot more than what he should have. But that's just how he works, and that's how he was as a person. He wanted control, and I think he done things his way, and it worked for us, and it worked for him. But I'm not surprised that it's obviously had to be split, because moving into a full-time role, it's just not viable to do both. But I've every faith in Oren for his new role, that he will sign the right players, keep the right players, blah blah blah, and again take us on to bigger things. And going full time, me staying, I'm not staying just to make up numbers. I want to stay here and win trophies. And I'm not saying that lightly. I want to have medals when I retire, and I want to do it here. So it's obviously recruitment and everything has to be right, and hopefully it will be. And the players that come in, like players that have came in the past 10 years when I've been here, you buy into what the club's about. It's a local club. The fans are working class people. They come, pay their money, and it's just everyone's together. That's how the town is. So everyone that walks through the door, you just hope that they buy into that project and want to kick on. I think once the last game of the season finishes, you're thinking to yourself, I've had 10, 11 months. We were in since mid-June last year and finished first week of May. So you're chatting a good 10 and a half months. And it's sore in your body. You're training twice a week, you're playing sometimes 3 times a week, you're always playing every weekend. It is sore in the body, and you do get to a point where even your body starts, I think, in a mental aspect, the season's finishing, so then your body starts to shut down a bit, but you just have to get over the line and finish the season strongly. But then you're probably out of it. I think I was out of it probably 2 weeks. I was away on holiday at Stevie's wedding, and then once that's over, it's just right, when can I get back? And I started on Tuesday, gym session, and then pitch session on Thursday, and that's kind of me just back into that routine now of I want to train as many times as I can now in pre-season to get myself ready, to make sure I come back in good condition. Obviously you don't want to come back fully fit, because that's what pre-season's for, and obviously there's other things that you need to work on as well, but you want to come back with a good base, that when you step on the pitch in the first day of pre-season, that you're not going to be sick during runs or anything like that. Full-time football, obviously that's more exciting for players than it is for fans, because they don't see what we do in the training pitch. But I just think in the last 6 weeks of the season, when we had Dean in, fresh ideas, stuff like that, you've seen a difference to the team. We had more of a structure. We played probably a bit more football, off the cuff stuff like them goals. And I just think a building block of having that you're going to have that for 6 full weeks before you even get into the season, maybe 7 full weeks. And it's just trust the process, because I'm trusting it as well, do you know what I mean? And I believe in the process, and obviously change is hard, but sometimes change is good and change is needed, and you just need a freshness to it. Oren will tell you, he's been here 12, 13 years, and he's probably just ready for a break from everything as well. It's challenging and stuff like that, and the last 3 seasons probably hasn't been where we want to be. Obviously we lost in 2 cup finals. Getting to 2 cup finals is exciting, but you lose them and it just means nothing. You don't think about them anymore. We finished 6th, but I just think with full-time training, signing the right players, we can get to where we were pre-COVID and the year after COVID as well, and hopefully take us to places like Maribor again and stuff like that. And that's just the dream. And we done Maribor without fans, and that's, if anyone ever asked me what's the best night in football, it's that night. But the only thing that was missing was the fans, especially our fans as well, because I fully believe, especially when you're going well, and obviously it's the same for a lot of teams, but our fans won't be beat in the league. And as I say, just trust the process. We all are as well, and I just feel we have the right people around the club, the right people taking us forward, and the only way's up.